Hey, it's Kayla, and this is On the Fritz, and we are doing a self-care Sunday. I'm drinking Sleepy Time tea. Not sure what's in it, but it tastes like Vicks Vapor Rub in a cup. I went to a friend's wedding last weekend, and it was in North Texas. So if you're not from Texas, you go from north to South Central Austin area, where the allergies are horrible, you get sick or you get your allergies flare up. So that's what's happening right now. All right, hey, what's up? So today I want to talk about my favorite shows that I watched in 2019. So not all of these are like first season or premiere shows for the year. They're just shows that I watched in 2019 that I can remember and that I liked a lot. Okay, so I'm wearing makeup. I just got done working out not too long ago. So I'm using Garnier's Micellar Water. I love this stuff so much. So my last self-care Sunday video, I did a peel-off mask, which was weird, and I didn't really like it that much. And it didn't really do anything for my skin as far as I could tell, except for it dried out. And Joshana told me that peel-off masks are a no-no, and she sent me a link to a dermatologist? Not a dermatologist. It was a video about a professional talking about all the bad skincare trends that are going on. And that includes peel-off masks. So I won't be doing that anymore. I'll leave the link to the video if you want to watch it and, you know, educate yourself. There we go. There's my beautiful red splotchy face. Okay, so these shows are in no particular order. Honestly, I think they're just like how they came to my mind. So the first I want to talk about is Russian Doll. And this is a Netflix original, and it was fucking amazing. And apparently there's going to be a second season, which if you watched it, I don't know what they're gonna do. I mean, I have one idea what they're gonna do. I'm not gonna talk about that because spoilers, but this is the show where it's like kind of like Groundhog's Day. This chick falls down the stairs and dies on her birthday, and then she like wakes up and then relives that entire day, and then it keeps happening over and over again. I believe she can live past just her birthday, but eventually she kind of dies, and then she'll start all over again. I'm pretty sure. It's been a little while. So it's we kind of seen this thing before. It's kind of like the Groundhog's Day thing, Happy Death Day thing. But with this one, she's not the only person that's happening to. There's this other person that's experiencing the same thing. And so they try to like help each other get out of this limbo loop thing. And it is so good. Pretty sure my husband and I binged the entire season like in a weekend. If not, it was pretty damn close. But I loved what it did at the end. That's kind of my jam. Again, not going to talk about it. But if you haven't watched it and you kind of forgot about it, definitely watch it. I believe the episodes were 30-minute episodes, so it goes by pretty quickly. I could be wrong about that, but definitely a favorite. Yours, Chip. So hard to talk and do shit. So I got the Target Up and Up pore strips because, you know, gotta save that money. Okay, so next on my list I have Handmaid's Tale Season 3. I rewatched Season 1 and 2 leading up to Season 3. Just want to comment. I remember Season 2 had me bawling so hard the first time I watched it. I was good on the rewatch, but fucking amazing show. Like, what I love about the show is that each season, the world gets bigger and bigger. So we get, how the fuck? So season 3, Handmaid's Tale, we see like their capital of Gilead? 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 We see the capital and we see how they treat their handmaids in the capital. And apparently it's like by the book and it's a lot more extreme. And so we see more of Canada and we hear about what's left of the United States. So I love that each season it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm excited for season 4. I have a feeling it's going to be very action-packed. Peel plastic liner. I can't fucking peel this off. Like there's a plastic thing on the back of here and she don't want to come off. All right, Target. I don't remember Biore doing this shit. Okay, next on my list is Stranger Things Season 3. Netflix original. Was so fucking good. I haven't rewatched it yet. I started rewatching the entire series. But I really am trying to get my husband to watch it. Because I think he would like it. But he thinks it's a kid's show. So season 3, we are at the summer. It is summertime. And we're at the mall. In the pool. And it was so good. Obviously the nostalgia is spot on every time. And I saw the teaser trailer that dropped on Valentine's Day. Holy shit, you guys. I mean, I'm not surprised. But I'm fucking excited. And like $10, we're gonna see Papa. I thought he was gonna show up last season. But he's definitely showing up this next season. What the fuck? Oh, I did peel it off. Oh, I put it on the right. I think it's supposed to be this way. I've been trying to peel this backing off and I'm pretty sure, like, I'm so fucking stupid. Okay, my nose was not wet enough. There we go. I feel like... Okay. Let's smoke those monsters out. Loved that we're gonna go new places season 4. Like we're gonna be new locations. I'm not sure what's gonna happen with the Upside Down, but one of my all-time favorite shows. So excited. I have a feeling it's not gonna drop until next winter though. I don't think it's gonna be in October. It might be, but I have a feeling it's going to be winter. We shall see. We did not get a date for season 4. Okay, the OA season 2 dropped. Another Netflix original, another science fiction. This is my taste in shows. So season 1 of the OA was perfection. Like one of the best shows I've ever seen in my entire life. And when I heard that there's going to be a season 2, it's kind of disappointed just because the way that season 1 ends was done so well. So, season 2, we get lots of answers, obviously. And it was weird, man, but it was good. And the way it ended was really freaky and very meta, but I liked it. And the show got canceled. So, I don't know. Fans are like holding out for like a movie to wrap things up. I don't know if they're still trying to pitch it to other networks. Yeah, I guess it's because viewings didn't do so well, but they've never PR'd the OA much at all. Like OA season 1, I remember it just dropped and like it was surprising, and I watched it because I was just intrigued. Like I had no idea what the show was about. And when you watch it, you still don't know what the show's about until like halfway through the season. But you're still confused like the whole time. Like that's part of the show, is you watch it and you're trying to figure out what's going down. So the pitch for the OA, if you have not watched it, there's this gal that comes back to this small town. She jumped off a bridge and she's got taken to the hospital and she's back in this small town and her parents come and pick her up. It turns out she's been missing for 5 years. But the thing is that when she went missing, she was blind and now she has her vision back. And so she recruits some people in this town, and basically the show is her telling her story about where she's been and what she's been doing for the past 5 years. I think it's 5 years. And so that's kind of like each episode, you're learning more and more pieces about the story. And you also get like a little bit of backstory, but she's telling it to you. And so it's like you're one of the members of this group. You're sitting there and you're hearing her story. And it is so wild and so weird. And just like I said, so good, so perfect. I was up until 5 a.m. watching this show. No show has made me stay up till 5 a.m. since Lost. So if you like science fiction and you somehow have not watched the OA, I really recommend watching the OA season 1 and maybe holding off on season 2 unless you're just very intrigued to see what happens, because like I said, it got canceled. Okay, next on my list is Orange is the New Black. These are like all Netflix show. Another Netflix original. We had the final season last year. I think that was season 7. I was kind of not loving the last couple seasons of Orange is the New Black. I liked it enough, but it just felt like it was time for it to end. And this final season was so good. Each episode had me crying. It was so heartbreaking. It was nice to see characters we haven't seen in a while. I thought it was going to be a lot about Piper and her, getting her book. But it was just kind of about her acclimating and, the change about being outside a prison. Orange is the New Black, I'm sure you know what it's about. I just loved what it did. It was just so timely, and it put faces to actual situations that are going on in our country, the United States, and it was so fucking sad. It went there. It did not give everyone a happy ending. I thought it was a great finale. As a whole, the entire season was a great finale and really made me appreciate and remember what I loved about the show. And it was to the point where I was watching those little clips about the actresses talking about the show and Genji talking about the show. And I couldn't get enough. I loved hearing everyone's feelings and emotions during filming the final season, and how it impacted their lives and changed their lives and all that stuff. So anyways, the final season, amazing. Okay, I watched the entire series of Jane the Virgin in 2019. I don't know what made me initially watch it. I never watched it on TV. I finally picked it up and oh my god, it is so good. It's the perfect mix of the romance genre for novels and the telenovela world. Those two are the main story point, and then the show itself watches like a telenovela. It's so dramatic, so over the top, but it's also so sweet and wholesome at the same time. The girls, Jane and her family, are just such a tight unit, and it's so sweet to see them, go through their battles throughout the entire show. So Jane is saving herself for marriage. She's a virgin, and she has her fiance, Michael, and she accidentally gets artificially inseminated when she goes to get her yearly exam. And so she's a pregnant virgin, and it's just her trying to decide what to do with the pregnancy, how to involve the father of the baby, what to do with Michael, what to do career-wise. And oh my god, this show has the best like cliffhangers. And it talks about in the show like the Friday night cliffhanger on telenovelas. Most of the episodes end on like this big dramatic cliffhanger, and so you just keep, it's like the best show to binge because you just keep watching. And like the mid-series finales and the mid-season finales and the season finales are just like ridiculously insane and so good. And if you go on my Twitter, like it was to the point where like I was tweeting about certain things. I was just, my jaw was on the ground. I loved it so much. I think if you're a romance reader, I think you would love it and eat it up. If you're not, maybe check it out. It was a fun show, and it did have some important things to say at the same time. They did use their platform very well about certain topics that were relative to the show, so loved it. I finished True Blood. This is an HBO original. I watched seasons 1 through 4, I believe, when I was in college. And I just stopped watching because it was just so cheesy. I just didn't care anymore. And then last year, once I got into romance, especially paranormal romance, I read like 3 of the books that True Blood is based off of. So 3 of the Sookie Stackhouse books. And I got it. So the books are so cheesy. The show does such a good job like embodying the books, and Sookie is done perfectly. So I realized like the show is the way it is on purpose. And the books are so boring. Like the show is way better than the books. The books are not steamy at all. Boring. Way too long for nothing that goes down. At least the first 3 books that I read. So I decided to pick up where I left off and finish True Blood. I liked it. I thought it was fun. The finale was okay. I didn't hate it. I will say that they did Tara dirty. So what resolved with Tara in the final season was shitty. I did not like that. But otherwise, I like the show. Cheesy, over the top, paranormal, vampires, shifters, no dragons, which is, never thought I'd finish that show just because just didn't care, but the mood struck and I finished it, and it was pretty damn good for what it was bringing to the table. Okay, I think we're gonna peel this back. Oh my god, ow. Hopefully this isn't too nasty. Got big ass pores. Me. Okay, so now I'm gonna do a sheet mask. I got this at a Daiso. I think that's what it's called. It's a Japanese dollar store. They have one in DFW. I was so excited to go there. So I got this pack. I'm gonna put on a hydrating sheet mask, and I'm gonna look ridiculous. They don't like to stick to my face, so. Ooh, it's cold. Oh, okay. I'm gonna stick now that I called you out. Oh, it's so cold. I got instantly goosebumps. Oh my god, this is terrifying. Okay, next show. Let's talk about The Boys. Oh my god. So this is an Amazon original based off of comic book. But this is one of my favorite subgenres in comics, and it's like taking the traditional superhero theme genre and like turning it on its head. We're in our world, but there are real superheroes, like are run kind of like by the White House. Like they help save everybody, which makes sense, which I think is so realistic. And the question here is, well, who's going to supervise them? Nobody. Like, they're on the top of the food chain. Nobody is, you know, watching over them. It's kind of an homage to the Watchmen of who watches the Watchmen. And there ends up being this group of people, and they call themselves the Boys. And they're kind of like this vigilante group that go and murder superheroes. They hurt superheroes. Because it turns out a lot of these superheroes are doing not so good things. And so the show just goes over, kind of get the background of a few superheroes. You find out what they're doing. Are they good? Are they bad? Who are the Boys? Are they good? Are they bad? Basically, it's just a lot of morally gray / just bad people going after each other. So fucking good. Can't wait for more. I read the first volume, and I think it's just because I know what's going on, and the show is so good. The comic just didn't grip me, so maybe I'll probably try again later. But where the show went, I loved. Did not see that coming. If you like superheroes, hella gory. So if you like The Watchmen or something, it's very reminiscent of that. Speaking of comic adaptations, I also watched The Umbrella Academy season 1. Are we getting another season? I hope so. So this is a Netflix original. Same kind of subgenre. So we have superhero kids. So there was a bunch of kids that were all born at the same time in the same day. But the thing is that the women that birthed them weren't pregnant. So like they all miraculously became pregnant and gave birth within like a small window of time. And so there's this man who like adopted, how many are there? 6 of them? 7? He adopted a bunch of them and raised them, and he kind of trained them and educated them, and they became these young superheroes that would protect people, and they were kind of like this big phenomenon, and, you know, whatever. And so they're all grown up now. Their dad died, and so they all come together for his funeral, and they haven't seen each other for a long time, and so it's just very somber. Apparently they all had just a horrible childhood. They're kind of like pinned against each other, had to compete against each other. And so you just learn everyone's kind of backstories, what everyone's power is, just their dynamic. And it's so fucking cool. You can tell what was gonna go down easily, in my opinion, but still thought it was really fun. I read the comic that the show is based off of, and oh my god, that comic is shit. I couldn't even finish it. The artwork was horrible. They took like the general idea of it, but it's not even kind of similar. Yeah, I've never DNF'd a comic before, and now I can say I have. I finished New Girl last year, and that's a goodie. So I started watching it before last year, but I finished it in 2019, and this show is so good that my husband watches it and loves it. This is a show about a gal who finds out her boyfriend has been cheating on her, and so she has to move out of the house, and she finds an ad, wanted roommate ad, with these 3 dudes. And so she moves in with these 3 dudes who are strangers, and it's just about them all becoming best friends. And there's more people to add to the group, but it's so funny. All the characters, like the main character Jess, It's probably like in my like she's like my least favorite character, and she's the main character. So like all of the side characters are so good, so animated, so funny. There's so many good quotes and one-liners. If you're a fan of like The Office or Parks and you haven't watched New Girl, I recommend it. It's not an office comedy, obviously. It's a apartment friends style, but it's very funny, and you should give it a try. Okay, I watched Love, Death, and Robots. It's the Netflix original. It's an anthology style, kind of like Black Mirror, but it's like shorter little clips. So each story involves love, death, or robots, obviously. They're so good. They're all animated. Yes, so they're all animated. Each one is done by a different animator. So you get all these different visuals, you get all these different stories. They pack a punch, and like they're really short. Like I think the longest one is maybe 40 minutes long. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I watched it. I want to rewatch it. I'm hoping for a season 2. If you like science fiction like I do, it's gonna rock your fucking socks. So if that's another one that you may have forgotten about, and it's not like on the main page on Netflix anymore, definitely check it out. This goes over like all different types of subgenres on science fiction. So there's obviously a lot of AIs and with the robot thing, but there's like emotional ones, there's space ones, there's vampires, there's folklore. It's just really fucking good. And I haven't seen one person talk about this. Not that I'm talking about it very well. Honestly, I would like to rewatch it and like analyze each episode because it's that fucking good. So it just represents short form storytelling so well. So I love short stories. I love science fiction and horror short stories. For some reason, most of the authors that I've read, they can get the plot and the story and pack a punch in so little words and time. And these do the exact same thing, only in visual form. So check it out. Watch the trailer on Netflix if you want to get a little taste, but it's so good. And these, like, yeah, they're animated, but they are for adults. These are not cartoons for kids, just FYI. How are we doing, guys? Are you freaked out yet? I got one more to talk about. I want to talk about Good Omens on Amazon. So this is based off the book by Neil Gaiman. I've not read the book, but Neil Gaiman wrote the screenplay. I don't think that's the right word. He wrote the adaptation. And holy shit, this is so good. This is about the end of the world. The apocalypse is here, and we follow a demon and an angel who have been friends, acquaintances. They've known each other since the beginning. So they're tasked with, making sure everything goes down because it is time for the world to end. But they've been living on Earth for a long time. They've become acclimated. They've been waiting for the Antichrist to come for a long time. And they like Earth, so they don't think they're ready for it to end. And there's just a series of unfortunate events that go on that lead to some things. And it just follows their relationship and what they're going to do or not do during the apocalypse. And it's really fucking good. There's like a huge fandom around it. I've seen Neil Gaiman retweet tons and tons of cosplays for characters in the show. I binged this series over a weekend. I love it so much. It is sad that there is only just the one season just because There's just the one apocalypse, as Neil Gaiman likes to say. And it's just a good time. I mean, I fucking love Neil Gaiman. Okay, I think we're good here. Just dab in the essence. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. If you hung out, you stayed this long. Hopefully I can trim this down. I just wanted to talk about standout shows from last year. I just made a list and I just kind of spoke from the heart, if you will. Sorry if I didn't have anything smart to say about any of these shows. For most of them, it's been a while since I've watched them, but these are all shows I love and I want to talk about them with people. And if you haven't got around to them, you should maybe give it a try. Try out an episode or two. Watch a trailer if you are looking for stuff to watch. Otherwise, you know, you do you. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I'll see you next time. Bye.